Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. Today's subject is taking ownership. I haven't been on here in a while, so I figured let me get on and give everybody these words of encouragement this morning. When I'm talking about taking ownership, I mean a lot of times we decide that everything is always somebody else's fault. We don't want to accept the fact that we played a part in anything. It's always this person did that and that person did this, and it's why the outcome was like this. When we should learn that we have to take ownership of the things that we had control over, take ownership of the things that we ourselves could have done better. A lot of times in life and in business, we want to blame everybody else. We'll blame the kids, the spouse, the siblings. We'll blame everybody else but the person that holds most of the blame, which most of the time is yourself. You have to be accountable for yourself. You have to be accountable for the things that you have control over and things you could have done better. That's why I said today's subject had to be taking ownership. I told myself that in business from now on, I wasn't going to blame anyone for the shortcomings of my business. I was going to do the work to make the businesses better. I wasn't going to point fingers unless I'm pointing them at myself, because you have to learn to take ownership. You become a greater person, a greater business person, a greater individual when you first learn to take ownership of the things that you had control over. See, my goal in business and in life is to strive to be a better me. It's to be blessed, to be wiser, stronger. But again, that starts with me. That starts with me understanding that I can't fault anyone for my business shortcomings. I have to work to make my business great. I have to work to hone my craft. I have to work to build my brand, because it's incumbent on me to make it successful. It's incumbent on me to, as I bring people into the business, to nurture them, to show them what they have to do in order to be successful as well. So again, that's all comes with taking ownership. Right now, I lead a team of 22 people, and the team is growing. But in order for it to grow and be successful, I have to put the work in. I have to build my brand. I have to let people understand that if you want something, success in life, you have to be responsible for what you do. You have to be responsible for what you say, what you speak from your mouth, and you have to be the evidence of what you say. If you say you want to be a successful business person, you have to put that work in. You say you want to be a great parent, you got to put that work in. Great spouse, great person in general. Nothing is done without the work. The work is extremely, extremely important. And that's why I'm saying that the taking ownership of what you do is at the top of the list. Taking ownership of what you speak into existence at the top of the list. You have to allow yourself not only to take ownership of what you have control of, what you put out there. You have to take ownership of all the mistakes you make. You have to take ownership of your shortcomings, because again, we can no longer play the blame game. The blame game works for no one. All the blame game does is actually just stifle your blessings. See, I refuse to blame anyone for my shortcomings. I refuse to blame anyone for what I didn't accomplish or what I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Because all that does is it makes people look at you different too. Because they realize you're not a man or woman enough to accept your mistakes. You have to shift the blame to somebody else. And again, the greatest part of being great is learning to take ownership of the things you failed at. The greatest part in being super successful is first learn to take ownership of your shortcomings, your downfalls. And then from there, you can begin to build. You can begin to push forward. You can begin to do all those things that you set out to say you want to do. Once you start, once you start realizing that you can clear the path for success once you accept the mistakes you've made. So, as I take this quick, brisk walk today, because I'm trying to walk every day, because that's also taking ownership of my health. That you have to learn that the hardest part about taking ownership is that you have to look at yourself in the mirror. You have to point the blame at where the blame goes, and that's you. Good morning, good morning. So, again, I'm not gonna keep y'all much longer. That is my word of today, is taking ownership. And again, like I always say, when I post, I don't care if I get 100 views or 2 views or 1 view, because it's not for everybody, but this message was for somebody. You have a blessed day, and I'll speak to you again real soon. One.